Hey friends, welcome back to another video. My name's Emma LaFave, and today we're going to be doing a really cool experiment on how to develop different color palettes using a really cool technique. So let's jump in and get started. Before we do that, make sure to subscribe to this channel and click that notification bell so you're notified every time I come up with a new video. All right, let's jump in. Okay friends, so today I'm trying something that I've never tried before, but I saw a creator on Instagram who was talking about something called unifying your palette. So I'm going to link her socials down below so you can check out her videos for yourself. But basically what unifying your palette is taking all the colors, say from this painting, adding one color to all of those colors that you've used to get a little bit of that one single color in every other color. Does this make sense? I hope this makes sense. The way she was doing it, I saw she did it with gouache, and I saw she was referring to other people doing it with acrylic, and I wanted to try it with watercolor. So for instance, I have all of these colors in my palette that I used for this painting. So pink, purple, yellow, green, this kind of like Viridian Hue purple. I think I already said purple. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do the exact same painting, but I'm going to add a small amount of one single color to each of these colors in the palette that I've used for the painting to unify it, to all have that same kind of undertone. So maybe it would be blue or yellow. And I'm going to see what kind of difference it makes to our painting. So I'm really hoping that it turns out the way I'm thinking it might. Or there might be some fun surprises along the way, and we'll see. But I just was really interested in the concept when I saw her videos, and I definitely wanted to try it myself. Okay, so I'm going to start by, I think, trying to do one with a blue undertone. So I'm going to mix a blue into each one of these colors that I used, and we're going to create the same painting. And we're going to see how it looks and if it helps unify the colors in this painting a little bit more. So the first color I have here is this, what is it? Quinacridone Maroon. This is my Paul Rubens palette that I'm using, which I recently did a review on. And I'm going to unify all the colors with some ultramarine. Now, the only tricky part is you want to add the same amount of that one single color to each other color. But with watercolor, it's a little bit trickier to see how much of the actual color you're adding, because it's not like a physical amount. It soaks into your brush. So I'm just going to take a guess and just hope to get a relatively similar amount, but we're going to see. So I'm going to take this color and I'm going to mix it into my pink, and obviously we're going to have some pink tulips here. So I'm going to try and do the same painting. Really curious to see what this is going to look like. And I'm curious also because my little yellow flowers, when I add that blue, is going to turn green. So I don't know if it's going to work the way I want it to or not, but we'll just have to check it out and see. I'm going to make it a little bit darker there, like that. And then I have another one down here. But you guys know, with any kind of color mixing challenge or video like this, I'm all over it. I love this kind of stuff. I find it so interesting, color theory, and I want to see if it gives a different vibe to my painting. So I'm kind of going off like this is like a spring kind of palette, and I want to see how it changes my original palette idea. So I have my purple here. I'm going to do that one next. I'm going to add my blue, which I already know I love this mixture together. Make it a little lighter. Okay. So this painting is supposed to have a blue undertone to it, because I'm going to be mixing all the colors with blue. And I'm clearly doing a very loose job with this. Get a little bit more color towards the center. Like that. All right. Then I'm going to do, this one's getting a little bit of a bloom there. Then I'm going to do the yellow flowers. I want to just try and add a little bit of the blue, so it's not completely green. A little bit more of that. It was actually an orange that I used, if I remember. Okay, so I added a little bit of the blue, which is going to neutralize it a bit, so it's not completely green. But it definitely dulls it down, right? Like that. Okay, and then our green. For this, I used my Hooker's green. So now I'm going to grab some of that ultramarine. And we have this. Actually, I can't remember. I think I used a lighter green for this. Hold on. I'm going to try mop that up a bit. I used this green for the stems. So let's mix this with ultramarine. See how that looks. There, it's a little different. I use this color green for the stems. Okay, and then I use this green for the leaves. Already it's kind of cool to see the difference. Having the same painting, but different colors that all have the same mixture. Like that. Like so. Okay, now let's do the background, which was this, what color is it? It's called Oriental Green. It's kind of like a Viridian Hue. And I just did a really light wash of it. So I'm going to mix a little bit of our ultramarine in there. And then water it down to get this new color. So I'm going to finish this part up quick and then we'll see what it looks like at the end. Okay, so there is our painting with the blue undertone, which is really cool because it gives a really cool vibe to the whole painting, which is really nice. So that's actually really awesome. This is such a cool technique. Okay, so I want to try this with a couple other colors. So I think I want to go for one that's more of a muted color, so like a yellow ochre, and then maybe try with either like a red or something. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to clean up my palette, and then we're going to mix all of those colors from the original painting again with our yellow ochre next. Okay, so let's start again with the pink. So I'm going to grab my pink, and we're going to mix a little bit of yellow ochre in it. So yellow ochre has a little bit of like a muted undertone to it. So it's not as quite bright yellow like one of our primary or cadmium yellows. It has a slight undertone of like a muted color to it. So it might mute a bunch of our colors. And I'm just really curious to see how it's going to look. So we have our yellow ochre here and our pink. Okay, we're going to start like this. Actually, I want it a little bit lighter. That, and then our little one down here. Oh, gotta make sure that you're in frame. Like so. Okay, and now let's mute our purple. So this is interesting here, is that our purple mixed with yellow is going to be a muted purple, because yellow and purple are contrasting colors. And if you add a small amount of a contrasting color to the other one, you're going to mute it. So I'm going to try not to add too much yellow to this because equal parts of this is going to be brown. So I'm just adding a little bit of that yellow. And what this does is it warms up the purple, but also kind of mutes it because it's its contrasting color. So it's not going to be as bright. So you see that kind of muted purple that we're getting? Like that. Over here. My flowers are so lazy in this, but I'm more interested in the color. Okay. And then our yellow, which was like this light orange, going to be mixing a little bit of the yellow ochre with that, which won't change it too much. So it's actually quite similar. I'm interested to see what it's going to do to the background color and the greens. Okay, so let's get our green out. So we did this green for the stem. A little bit of that yellow ochre. Makes it more of like a lime green. Warms it up a bit with the yellow. Which is actually really nice. And then our darker green here. It's going to warm it up as well and make it a little bit olivey, which you guys know I love olive green. And it gives the whole palette a bit more of a warmer, muted vibe. So I'm going to finish painting this and we'll speed it up and you guys can see what it looks like when I'm done this painting. Okay, so there is our next one. This one actually is kind of similar to the original. It's just a little bit more greeny and kind of yellow. So it's not that huge of a difference, but now I want to try like a red, which I think might be interesting. I don't know how it's going to go because red and green do make brown. So I'm going to try and use more of the green and just use the red to kind of mute some of those colors and just warm it up overall. But let's see how that one works out now too. Okay, so I'm going to start with my pink again. And for this, I'm going to use, I'm actually going to use Quinacridone Rose. I don't want it to be too red, but just a little bit of a pink. It's not going to make a huge difference with this first pink tulip because they're similar in color. It's just a little bit more pinky, I think. But I'm curious to see the other mixes that we're going to make. So again, I will come back when this is all done. We'll just do a quick time lapse so you don't have to sit through the real time of me doing the same painting again. But yeah, let's see what kind of colors we can make with this. Okay, and there we go. So here are the finished paintings. I know they got sloppier as I went on, but I wanted to focus more on the color palettes than the actual, paintings. But I think this is actually a really cool technique, and with a lot more effort and, detail to these, I think that would be really cool to do, to get a new color palette and a new vibe for your painting. So if you want something a little cooler, you can mix every color with blue. You want something a little bit warmer, brighter, yellow. And then this one I actually was very impressed with. I love the background, how it's kind of more on the gray side, but the pops of pink, just using that red. So this is such a cool technique to use to come up with a new color palette. And obviously you don't have to do a little painting like this to test out new color palettes. You can just swatch them and then get your color palettes that way to see if it's something you like. But this is such a cool technique, and there's not one of them that I feel like doesn't work or looks bad. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I think this would be really fun to try as well with landscapes. So if you want to see me do this with landscapes, that might be really interesting. The other idea I had, because watercolor is transparent, I know a lot of other artists have tried or talked about underpainting before. So maybe I want to test out if it would be the same thing if I, picked one single color like yellow ochre or blue and painted the whole background that, and then just layered colors on top, if it would have the same effect as it does with mixing. That might be a future topic. If you guys are interested, let me know in the comments. But yeah, this was so much fun. I love color theory. I love mixing colors, and I really enjoyed this kind of experimentation kind of video. So again, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. I can't wait to read them, and that's about it. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and I hope you learned something. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and follow me on all my other platforms for tons more content. Have a great day, guys. Bye.